time for Two Guys and a Goalie with Dustin Nielson, Matt Kassian, and the goalie, Joaquin Gage.
12:02 on game day. Mattias Ekholm is back. Mattias Ekholm is back. Hey, well, what's going on around here? Thank you very much for being everybody. You can text us 780-218-9999 if you're listening on Edmonton Sports Talk, on TuneIn, on iHeart today. Just send the link to your buddies, how easy it is to listen, and we'll take you right on up. We have EST afternoons coming up from 1 until 3. The Reed Wilkins show will be 3 until 5 today. Then he'll send it down to Tommy Gazzola, who will be at Hudson's on White from 5 until 6 in longer shorts than the ones he was wearing at work today.
Oh, they were short.
They were short, hey?
Oh, I didn't see them.
Even before you, oh, buddy. Oh, yeah. You got to go back.
Shorts are short.
You go to our show this morning. Watch, he came in at one point to show us the shorts. Go look at how short they were. It's like he was going to run a marathon after the show today.
Really?
Yeah, but like a professional marathon, not a normal person's marathon. Like shorts.
So how long before he's going just full speedo? Just in
3.5 weeks. Like it's got to be just around the corner. Has to be just around the corner.
I think I got I have the code to his house, his apartment. So I should go in there and hem them a little bit each day. So by the end of it, Tommy's just cheeky all day.
And I do love your commitment to going all the way downtown to his place to hem his shorts. Very little amount.
A little bit each week.
God. Gas?
He would probably notice. And he'd be happy. Like he wouldn't say anything because then he knows that his out is, this was Gager. Gager did this to me. It's his fault. Right? So if he ever needs to cop out and back out, he's like, I got my out. So no, he would be all over that. He'd be all over it.
I think he would, he would know.
Yeah.
He would know. All right. Hey, how about the sluice juice?
Very good.
So good, isn't it?
So much vitamin C.
Mm-hmm. Guys, you must have had sluice juice at some point, hey?
No,
From the Spirit of Edmonton. You've never had the sluice juice?
No.
You go to Elks games? No. Been around the Double E?
I go to Elks games, yeah. But never had a sluice juice.
Yeah, it's good. Juice? Nobody knows the recipe.
No.
But it's really delicious.
It is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's on a day like today.
It's a breakfast drink.
It's a really refreshing drink.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's so thanks to Haraxi and the crew from the Spirit of Edmonton for did you get one of those burgers in you today?
Yeah,
too?
I did.
How good are those?
Those are very good.
Yeah, Dave from Section T was also, and they were both in on the hangout today, and they had the tailgate going outside before the show or during our show this morning. And
you had lettuce in your burger, hey?
Yeah, first time ever.
Wow.
Yeah, I usually just get burgers with no veggies at all whatsoever, and they brought that one in today, and I didn't want to be rude. So I just ate it with the lettuce in it, and onions and other tomatoes but the iceberg lettuce just provided a nice sort of crisp. Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
You know what? If you're feeling adventurous one day, A&W has the one without the bun. It's all iceberg lettuce.
Oh, the iceberg lettuce burger.
It's a crunch, man.
I would have never thought to do that until today when I actually didn't mind it.
Did you like the bacon jam though?
That was good.
That's good.
That was really good.
A lot of onions in there.
Cass, you ever do fancy burgers for the family at home on the old barbecue?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I got my recipe, like how I like to make them. And there's different ways of doing it. Sometimes I'll do them smash. The family doesn't like them smash as much. Like I love doing smash burgers. Yeah, I know. And like I have a nice flat griddle, like I'll put on the grill outside, that I'll put on top of it to heat up to do that when I do smash. So generally when I'm doing smash burgers, it's like if everyone is gone and it's just me, and I'm like, I'm just going to make what I want to make. And that's usually a smash burger. I'll weigh them out, like kind of form them a little bit, loosely form them, weigh them out a little bit. And you know what I love to do with my smash burgers, guys, is I'll melt a bunch of butter. And then before I drop them on to smash them, I put them in the bowl of butter and just coat them, like toss them around the butter. Because especially if you get that griddle really, really hot, like that's what gets like that crisp, like that dark brown crust on the outside of that bad boy. That's how you do that. So that's when I do smash burgers. I make them at home. The family really likes them. A little bit different, more of a meatloaf burger where you mix in some other stuff in there.
Yeah.
We'll call it that. Like, but still really, really good. So yeah, I love making me burgers. That's one of my favorites. One of my favorite things.
And you had me at I melt a lot of butter. I don't care what you would have said next. I'm totally in. I'm totally in for that.
All right, next time you do smash burgers, do that. Like you get them in the ball like before you smash them.
No? Oh, I don't know. I get burgers. They make burgers that come in these boxes, and then you just open it up.
Okay. They're good. I will never.
They can be. Yeah.
I have some good ones. I'll get like the keg ones and stuff.
Yeah, I get the prime rib ones. Those are great, man.
They're pretty good. But with the smash one, what do you roll up a little meatball and then you just smash it down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you smash it down. You grab like a piece of wax paper or something. You can use you get like a good spatula and kind of put it on top with another spatula on top of that one, like so they don't bend. Then you smush them down, or you can use your hand if you got like a heat glove on or anything.
The little hand press. Go get yourself
a fancy boy. Like.
Yeah, you can do that too. Yeah. But if you do, melt some butter and before you smush that ball, coat it in butter and then do it, because then it gets really crispy.
All right, lots to get to as we work our way through the show today. Two Guys A Goalie brought to you by GS Construction, where they are hiring now. Become a part of the great team today by visiting gsconstruction.ca or their page on indeed.ca. For the past 50 years, the foundation of GS Construction has been built on efficiency, quality, and safety. Take your career to the next level. Join the team at GS Construction today. We got to get to the lineup changes. Somebody said Jeff Skinner's in. Rudy. Do you think Knobloch went to the group and said, "Listen, we're going 11-7," and then Stetcher walked into the room and laid down his jersey and said, "No, this is for Skinner." And then somebody else came in and said, "This is for Skinner," and we're talking Jeff Skinner. Do you think that's how it ended up happening?
Probably not.
Oh, okay. I like that story though.
I'll say maybe Jeff Skinner becomes the Broberg of this year's playoff run. Comes in late, replaces everything Hyman was doing with a little bit more touch. Not that Hyman didn't have a lot of touch, but
what do you expect from him, man?
I think everything he's got.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's enough, but looking at him and the way he speaks and there's been nothing of him being upset. You know, he's kept that out. I just think he's gone along. He's everything that I've heard. He's worked hard. And now he has an opportunity to play in a game that he's a conference final game that he was never going to play in unless he came to Edmonton here. So, yeah, I think you're going to get the best version of Jeff Skinner possible tonight.
Cass, what do you think about the decision to go Skinner in, not go 11-7, just have Ekholm replace Stetcher?
Oh, you better be darn well sure Ekholm's ready to go. Like you don't want to be in a position where you're down to 5D, you know, Ekholm, all of a sudden it's re-injured or something happens. Now, maybe he is fully ready to go and you know that with certainty, but I don't know. I've also really liked how Stetcher has played. And so I'm just not like, you got to get him out of the lineup and you got to get Ekholm in. Like, I want to get Ekholm in. He does make you better. He's a great defenseman. So it's like I want him in the lineup, but just that 11-7 gets me a little more flexibility. And because Hyman's hurt, I don't have to pull anyone out of the lineup to do it. And I know you're looking at this maybe as management or coaching staff, and you're saying, okay, well, you know, Ekholm is healthy. He is good. He is an upgrade on Stetcher. Now we can slide Kulak with Nurse, and we're a little bit better on defense. But that defense has been so good. So I don't know. It's not like I view it as being, as of right now, a horrible decision. I don't know. I'm not like chomping at the bit to get Skinner in and to have Ekholm have to play a certain amount of minutes, where with Stetcher, and it's like you can really limit what you're having to ask Ekholm to do. And Stetcher has been so good that I'm not afraid to do that. So I don't know, guys. I get that, you know, you want the Rudy moment, and you want to lay the jerseys down and get Skinner in an actual playoff game where he actually plays. But I don't know. And maybe we get a good game out of Skinner if he does end up being it. Maybe we do. But I'm not having crazy high expectations. You know, he's not that I'm aware of capable of being fast enough to disrupt on the forecheck like Hyman was. So You know, are you going to slot him in where Hyman was playing? Probably not, which means he's going to drop down in the lineup. And is that going to give you the type of game from those guys you want? I don't know.
Well, let's take a look at where he's slotting in here, Gage. We'll start with you. I'll give you the lines here, and you can give me your thoughts on them. McDavid with Nuge and Perry, Draisaitl with Kapanen and Evander Kane, Henrique and Frederick and Skinner, and then Janmark, Arvidsson, and Podkolzin. What do you think about how the way that this first lineup without Hyman has come together for the Oil?
I mean, I like it because on the road, having the big two split up to start just provides a little bit different look of how the matchups and how DeBoer wants to do it. When you look at the line, Henrique, Frederick, and Skinner, like, so the first thing that comes to mind is how do you replace Hyman, right? How do you replace that aggressiveness, finishing every check? Trent Frederick's been okay, but he has to raise the level.
Yeah, I feel like he's been sort of a bit underwhelming-ish.
Yeah.
So it doesn't play a ton, but doesn't really do anything when he is playing.
So you had to dump out some of your juice with Hyman out. But how is that replaced? Like that next man up mentality. I don't think there's anyone in the lineup that can replace Hyman, but the level of play from different players, I think, is the way to get that cup full again. Obviously, having Mattias Ekholm, I think that replaces Hyman in a sense a little bit, having him in the lineup, just what he can do. Trent Frederick has to be better. And he's been okay, but I want to see a little bit more. Jeff Skinner, I think it'll be very difficult for him to be trying to toe drag guys or trying to do the extra things after how he sees everyone playing right now with puck management. I think you're gonna see a guy that's gonna try to play with that management style and not making mistakes.
Is it not to just keep it simple, and if you have a chance to shoot it?
Yeah.
Because you got a good shot, right? So
don't look for the pretty stuff, right? Janmark Arvidsson was okay last game, I thought, but he needs to bring his level of game up. So when you add all those pieces up, I think you almost replace Hyman in a sense. There's intangibles obviously there, but I think with those guys raising the level of play, you're not going to replace them fully, but you get that empty cup of Hyman a little bit more full.
This is a team that will go into this game tonight without Connor Brown and without Zach Hyman, and the replacements are 2 10-year veterans in Arvidsson and Skinner. Cass, am I crazy to think that come the third period, you might not see a lot of Skinner, Henrique, and Frederick, and Janmark, Arvidsson, and Podkolzin would be that third line over the boards with the aggressiveness that they can bring to the table?
Yeah. Well, I think it kind of in my mind already is. I think the third line, the reason you have them slotted there, if you're, coaching staff, is because you have 2 10-year veterans in there, and you're just, I don't think the Podkolzin, Arvidsson, Janmark line, and I know there's veterans there too, but I don't think they care. If you slot them in on the practice sheet as third line or fourth line, they're happy to be there, and they're just going to go play their game. Where it's like you maybe with Skinner and Henrique, and you're going to slot them in what looks like the third line. But to me, I have more trust in that Janmark line right now. With Arvidsson, I thought Arvidsson had a good game last game. Like, I thought he was aggressive and played that little buzzsaw that was his best game. Not that we've seen him in a little bit, but his best game in a long while. So it kind of already is. So it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. No. And I do like that line. Like, I like the Podkolzin, Janmark, Arvidsson line. And I don't
They'll
mind
be in your face. They're an in-your-face line, right? Like, they're an in-your-face
line. Yeah. In your face line. And you, as Gager said, you're kind of trying to replace some of what Hyman brought, and you're not going to do it because that's all wrapped up in one player, but with some of that physicality on the forecheck and trying to force pucks to turn over and making it, you're letting other teams hear footsteps. Not that Hyman was running everybody over, like crushing them or hitting them from behind, but it's just like you were always going to get finished, right? He was finishing every hit on the forecheck. So those guys have the opportunity to keep that going. I do like the Janmark line, and we'll have to see. The question I have with the Henrique, Skinner, Frederick line is, are they going to have enough speed to be able to disrupt on the forecheck between the three of them? Like, or is this just a line that, is going to, I don't know. Like, I don't want to have to say they have to outthink guys because I want to see them be physical, but I have questions about if they are going to actually be able to be effective as a third line checking type of line.
I think there's enough hockey IQ on that line to create a good forecheck, would you say, Cass? Like with, okay, I can't just dump it blindly and hope someone gets in there. Like there's going to have to be strategic placement for the puck for, okay, if I go cross dump here, Frederick's going wide, he'll be able to get in. Like just they can't just go out there and run amok, right? There's going to have to be a method to their madness if they want to continue that hard forward checking style of taking time and space away from the Dallas Stars D.
No, absolutely they're going to have to. There should be enough knowledge there in anticipation, but that's what they're going to have to do because they're not going to just do it with their legs. Like Connor Brown can do it at times with his legs, right? Just because of this speed. Podkolzin can do it because of his legs with this speed. Guys like Henrique and Skinner, they're going to have to do it with their brain. You'd like it's the type of line which was always my role. Not that I was fast, but it's like I'm designated F1. Like let's be real, and I think Frederick kind of is in that. And what I mean by designated F1 means like if someone's going in to try to hit somebody, it's me. And on that line, I feel like that's Frederick's role is going to be, hey, you really be the guy to be the ultra aggressive. And Skinner and Henrique just try to play a little bit more positionally sound to make sure you're not giving up anything against. Like even if you don't create a grade A turnover off the chances, like just don't give up odd mans against. Don't give out easy breakouts, like play positionally. So you could be right with that there, Gage, and certainly are in terms of how that line probably has to play a little bit different than like Janmark's line does.
Let me throw this one at you, and you can text us. It is Two Guys and Goalie presented by GS Construction. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. SBK is asking, do you guys think Knobloch was just maybe having a little gamesmanship and is still going to go 11-7 tonight?
Potentially.
I mean, we've seen him put lines out, and then I would say I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, Cass. Is that fair?
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. Why would we be shocked if that happened? Like he could very well do that. And that may be what they're planning on doing as well, right? Because you're going to run, and when you're doing your morning skate, like you're not going to, run a line of two guys in morning skate. Like you're going to have someone slot in there. So yeah, they still could go back to that. There's still very real potential that they do.
Probably the concern is if you go 12-6 and this thing goes to overtime and all of a sudden, Mattias Ekholm goes from, whatever, the amount of minutes he plays, say it's in a normal game, a little over 20, that starts reaching over 35 or something like that, depending on how long the game goes, then it's a little bit worrisome to me. You saw the Dallas Stars do it when Heiskanen came back, right? They went 11-7 and managed his minutes just in hoping that he was okay to go. And after that, I think it was the second game, they said, okay, he's fine. He can take the workload. So is it being at a 3-1 lead? I think you have an opportunity to go 11-7 and just give yourself just that little safety valve just in case, Ekholm after the first is like, yeah, I can't do this. And then you got to drop down to 5D for the rest of the game.
That'd be one of the reasons to do it, right? To have that little bit of extra oomph on the back end, just in case.
Break glass, just in case.
780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Mex Bazuzuz says, that would be so savage if Knobloch is doing gamemanship and it didn't get Jeff Skinner and he didn't know until later. Like, hey, man, I couldn't tell anybody. Nobody could know, but you're out. Stetcher's still going to go tonight. That'd be tough. Let's dive into the number crunchers for Play Alberta. Do have some options already up for you over at Play Alberta today on our EST specials page. Go to playalberta.ca or on the app. Click on EST specials and just waiting for the grandest of parlays from the DGen Den. They'll throw something up. Lots of Oilers related stuff tonight. Oilers to win, McDavid assist, Nuge point, Draisaitl over 1.5 shots. That is boosted to plus 320. Connor McDavid's Dusty's play of the day. That's just over 1.5 points for Connor here to seal it away. Plus 100. Tyrese Halliburton over 21.5 points and a Corey Perry point plus 321. And then Jay's play of the day. He's looking to make it 6 days in a row. Oilers win and Nuge with a point tonight gets boosted to plus 170. 70. The Edmonton Oilers, Connor McDavid. These are some Game 5 stats as we crunch the numbers here. Connor McDavid has recorded at least a point in 10 of the 12 career Game 5s that he's played in. 19 points in those 12 Game 5s. Draisaitl has 17 points in his 12 career Game 5s. Nuge has 12 points in his last 11 Games 5 that he's played in. And Bush 12 points over his last 9 Game 5s as well. How about Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Gager? Does he keep this? Does he roll out another multi-point night?
Nothing. He's playing at a different level. You guys mentioned it. Was it yesterday or the day before? Just the game slows down for him right now. He's seeing it differently than most. I would bet that he is somewhere on the score sheet at the end of tonight's game. He's just been playing so well. Dallas doesn't really have that's that next tier of scoring too, right? That's so important in the playoffs. I don't see his game all of a sudden falling off and not. He's become a playoff performer. You know, you look at the regular season. There's a handful of guys that have done it. They seem to have raised the level of their game. They recognize I guess the proper word would be importance of this time of year. They know how close they are to getting back to where they really want to be. And I think all of us at the start of the season, can we just get to this part of the season again? They can smell it, taste it, and almost grab it. That's probably why you see his where he's at right now is the reason why.
What about a Corey Perry game tonight, Cass? He's going to be on PP1 again. He's going to be riding shotgun with McDavid and Nuge. I don't know. I feel like there could be a really nice Corey Perry game incoming here.
Yeah. And it almost kind of was. Game 4 kind of was, too, in a way. Like, I know he takes the penalty. You see how frustrated he is with himself, taking the penalty and getting scored on, and then immediately goes out and gets the equalizer. Right, like, or gets the next one, and we're kind of due. And I know there was lots of people that I had heard from and seen in the nasty chat that when we were talking about if Ekholm comes in, you know, who comes out, and there was a whole bunch of people who were like, take out Corey Perry. You got to take out Corey Perry. Corey Perry is the guy that's got to come out, and I don't think so. I think you are right. If anything, it's kind of like he's bided his time a little bit now, the last game or two, maybe slightly, kind of, and he's got that 40-year-old energy, just ready to step in for one, like to have one night to close out a series to get a little bit of a break before the Stanley Cup Final begins, potentially, if the Oilers win. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think you're off your rocker to say Perry could have one here. It's he's a big game type of player. You want to talk about Nuge being a playoff performer? Perry's a playoff performer too, that understands how to play in big moments. Thinks the game well in those big moments, and he could be due for one here on PP1, fellas.
If you like him to have a power play point tonight, it's more than 3-1. You can go with that play Alberta as well. Cass, if you're DeBoer, what do you do? I mean, you're going home here. You've played relatively. You've had really good moments in this series, but there haven't been enough of them consistently. So, I mean, you blow up your lines. What do you do to get back in this series?
Well, you point the finger at Evan Bouchard and say that he's slashing people like it's junior hockey, and this doesn't happen in professional hockey. This happens in junior hockey. And actually, you know, that kind of response tells me that I don't know if he has an answer.
That's a fair point. You're right.
Right, like that. I don't know if they do, where they're focusing on, our guy got slashed on his sore foot by Evan Bouchard, who's like the gets choked out by other people and taps out and is just not a violent or vicious or aggressive player by any stretch of the word. And you're worried about that guy. Also, though, by the way, guys, I love that. I mean, I love that slash. I loved it. And I loved that it was Bouchard that did it. That was fantastic.
This is coming of age moment. This is coming of age moment in the playoffs.
It was like, no, he's in it now. Well, his coming of age moment in the playoffs, sidebar, but it was when he chipped it off the glass and out, I think for the first time ever. And I saw it. I know I was just like, he looked to the middle, decided against it and chipped it off the glass. And I was like, who is this? What is he doing? And it was great.
Since he kept Byfield's clearing attempt in, he's been walking tall.
Yeah.
He's been walking tall. Yeah, absolutely. Which another conversation for another time. But on DeBoer, I don't know what more do you have levers do you have to pull? Like Rantanen isn't going. Hintz is banged up and not going. Robertson is still trying to slide back into it from an injury, although he maybe has a little bit of juice after scoring last game. Johnson has been completely gone. Like you haven't even noticed him the entirety of this series. Seguin is trying, but he's not at the level that he once was. And so, like from a forward group to try to create offense, well, what do you do? Like, and you can't just have Heiskanen and Harley trying to do too much to drive some of that, because Edmonton has been really good and their depth scoring has been really good. And so, like, if you take too many chances, Ottinger hasn't bailed you out, and Edmonton's found a way to the back of the net. So I don't know what you do. I mean, you're going to try to motivate, you're going to try to inspire, but you're basically, you're pulling out your rosary beads and saying your Hail Marys, like, and just kind of going through everything. Like, what are you supposed to do? I don't know that you can do anything, especially staring down a 3-1 series deficit where it's like, it's not just tonight. It's like, we got to do it 3 games in a row against Edmonton. And that's a tall order for the Dallas Stars. And I don't know if they, on the offensive side of the puck right now, have an answer. I just don't think they do.
From this moment forward, I will no longer be referring to Evan Bouchard as Bouch. It will be the Butcher. Okay. So
Butcher.
Man, damn it. I should have used that on Tales of the North today.
Oh, shoot. Sorry.
I said,
that's so good.
What did I say today? I said Bouch.
Oh, Gage, that's good.
That is good. The Butcher.
Oh, that's so good.
I fully support the Bouchard Butcher nickname moving forward. My God, I'm trying to look what I called him today on Tales of the North. That's like a
serial killer name for him too. The Butcher.
See, I called him Bouch the Brawler, but the Butcher would have been way better.
Evan the Butcher Bouchard.
Yeah, the jabber of Jamie Bouchard. And the hostile hitman of Hintz. But Bouch the Butcher.
Okay, so
really works.
The Butcher.
The Butcher.
He's great.
I hope he does something to somebody tonight with his stick, so that we can get online and be like, the Butcher strikes again, and Dallas fans can lose their mind.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, they're referring to Bouch as a butcher. Can you believe it?
People wearing Butcher Bouchard jerseys.
Yeah, the Butcher.
Yeah, just with him. Maybe we'll get Corey.
Corey the Butcher, make that work somehow. That's too funny.
No, I think DeBoer is, he's pressing the buttons that need to be pressed, right? He's positive. He's saying didn't he say that it was a taller order to come back against the Knights when they were down 2, or like he's saying as much as possible to get some belief into his team. I think there is belief. There will be belief at the start of the game. And I said this before, it's up to the Edmonton Oilers to just take that belief away and just go, we're in trouble again. So yeah, you want that first goal, man. That is huge. Just to take the crowd out of it, to make the hole a little bit deeper for the Dallas Stars, and and take all that hope and desire away.
Well, let's talk about that first goal a little bit. Go ahead, Cass.
I'm stuck on this though. I gotta throw it in just because it's resonating in my brain. The Evan the Butcher Bouchard.
Yes, of course.
Like, can you imagine, like on a live broadcast, someone being like, if he scored, and maybe he scores that first goal, and they're like, the Lone Star Carver, the Butcher,
the Butcher,
Evan Bouchard,
the Butcher,
the Butcher.
Oh man, I just can't. Like, the Lone Star Carver, the Butcher of. I'm trying to think of a Dallas neighborhood. I don't know that. Like
Evan the Butcher Bouchard.
Oh yeah,
Evan the Butcher Bouchard strikes again. Yeah,
I got time for it. I'm totally on board with this Bouchard Butcher era.
I'm sure if he can have a game tonight, like some AI with him as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with his face.
Somebody could do that.
Oh,
yeah, for sure.
Beautiful. 100%. Yeah, and you know what? We all need to hammer that like on the socials and just get it out there.
The Butcher does it again.
The Butcher strikes again.
Oh God! I like the idea of him being a serial killer on the loose in the city of Edmonton.
I love it.
When you said you're stuck on things, I thought you were going to come back around to when we mentioned Walking Tall. It just made me think of the movie Walking Tall with The Rock.
Yeah,
such a good movie.
That's a great. That's
movie. Before he got jacked.
Yeah,
and that's just a really good movie. Anytime that movie's on, I watch Walking Tall.
That was one of those where I think it was a rental back in the day.
Okay.
And nothing else was available.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
I'll watch
The
it.
Rock. It was great.
He comes back and saves his city.
It's a true story.
Is it really?
Based on a true story, yeah.
No way.
Very loosely, guys.
Loosely.
Very loosely.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think there was guys coming with semi-automatic machine guns on Vancouver.
Yeah.
It was in Vancouver Island, wasn't it? Or was it the Pacific Northwest?
Are you serious? It's a true story about something in Canada?
Yeah.
I think so.
What?
Yeah. When
Really?
I did my deep dive.
I gotta look this up. I had no idea that was a true story.
I remember I looked at it like it's no, I don't think it was Vancouver. I don't think it was in Northwest. I thought it was still in the States,
okay.
but I'm pretty sure. I mean, obviously, it's way dramatized. Like it's, I think, way more than what actually happened. But it is based on a little bit of a true story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of
have to watch it again.
yeah. I mean, I have to go back. I mean, I watched it. It's one of those ones I'll throw on sometimes when I'm doing work in the basement, and then I'm there because I like the bad guy in it too, Neil McDonough.
He's great.
He's so good in everything he does, man. I love everything that guy touches. And when Chris Vaughn, Dwayne Johnson, throws the 2x4 up into the glass and then he steps forward, that's a great movie moment. That's if you haven't seen Walking Tall, man, that's a pretty good movie. All right, what about yes? So Skinner tonight. If you're Dallas and you're watching game tape on Skinner and Gage, what are you seeing? Some areas where you're like, if we do this better, we can get to this guy.
The only two areas that they've kind of had success on, and one that they haven't at all up to this point after game one, is traffic. Right, I think Stuart Skinner's been allowed to see everything, which has made a huge difference. And that's a team effort by not allowing the Dallas Stars to get net front presence, right? But breaking that center line, going east-west with passes to get Stuart Skinner moving side to side, they haven't been able to do that at all. They've allowed him to establish his position at the top of the crease and stare down the shooters. And when he does that, he is one of the best goalies in the league. If you allow him to see the puck, and get established, get set, quiet feet, and put that big frame in the way. Someone on the show was talking about, I think it might've been on Reed's show, talking about Skinner, where, how you saw him kind of jumping towards pucks a little bit at times when they were high, like they caught him off guard. That was a sign of, and maybe he just didn't feel comfortable or didn't think he had the whole net. You don't see that at all anymore, right? He's allowing the play to come to him a little bit more. Like you don't see that jumping at pucks and things. His not a ton of swimming in the net either. And again, I credit the team defense a little bit more to that. But yeah, trying to get the puck east-west if they can, but that's easier said than done with the way that the Edmonton Oilers are playing defense. But they have to get in front of them, and because they have two of the best in the business from the point with Harley and Niskanen, Miro Heiskanen, getting pucks through.
Shout out to Niskanen. Remember him?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. What are your expectations for Skinner tonight, Cass?
He's in the zone right now, guys. He's in the zone. If Skinner has a bad game, or people, and you start getting shredded again on Skinner, and everyone immediately says he's the worst goalie in the history of goalies, and that he shouldn't be playing minor hocky.
If he struggles tonight, you will see some of that on the postgame show, right?
Oh, absolutely will. But I figure if he does, most likely it's the tip from the side of the net, 3 or 4 guys in front of him, screen, secondary opportunity where Edmonton doesn't find stick or clear people. Like that's pretty much everything Gager just talked about. Like if Dallas can do all that, well then you're probably going to put a couple home on him. I think for right now, as long as he's feeling comfortable, he's going to be in a good spot. Like he's feeling it. He's in the groove, and it's going to take a lot of lateral movement, which it does for all goalies. Again, no one's good on backdoor tap-ins. No one's good on tertiary chances that go upstairs right after you made 2 saves already. If Dallas can get and win those net front battles on secondary opportunities, then maybe you get to Stuart Skinner and you pot a couple. But Edmonton's defense playing really well right now. Stuart Skinner playing really well right now, so it's going to be a tall order for them to do so.
All right, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. You can chime in here as well. I just sent the D-Gen Den's grandest of parlays over, and they've got a Jeff Skinner point in their parlay tonight. You sick puppies. You sick puppies. Hey, I like to see that aced. It was over in the chat or on the text line. It says Skinner last game also battled. So much better to see around screens, which was absolutely fantastic to see. Lots of love for the movie Walking Tall as well. And K-Town says, Josh from K-Town says, hey boys, the first goal is going to be so important tonight. If you get that first one, Dallas is going to be sitting on the bench wondering how the hell are they down in another hockey game, right?
Yeah.
It'd be an absolute backbreaker for them if they can get one early tonight. Although for Carolina last night, let's pop over there. Carolina goes up 2-0. Aho, their best player, gets a couple of goals, puts them in a little bit of a driver's seat. Then Florida scores 2 goals in about 30 seconds and then just doesn't look back from there, Gager. Is that more of a Carolina storyline or is that more of a Florida storyline?
That's a good question. I think it's more of a Florida storyline.
That's just who Florida is.
They're not fazed by anything. They know they can overcome any obstacle. Like, talk about a team playing with extreme confidence and on the back of really good goaltending too. You know, that's they deserve to be back in the finals again. That's and part of me thinks with Carolina and I think it was on your show. Was it Boudreau saying this is them? This is as far with that team. This is
as far as they'll go.
Yeah, in that division, and he said the Metro, which isn't the strongest.
He referred to it as the weakest.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Bruce was great today.
Yeah. But no, they are equipped to get to the conference final, but nowhere beyond. There's still I think Aho is a great player, right? And maybe that was Rantanen going there. I thought, okay, reunited with some Finnish players, like he's got another Finnish star playing with him. This is going to ignite Aho to another level. Unfortunate, but I think they're still missing that player, that game breaker on D or at forward, right? They don't really have that real great offensive defenseman, or that just stud forward that is a consistent 100-point player and flirts with 50 goals. That's what they need.
Yeah,
what do you think, Cass?
I got a different theory.
Okay,
I got a different theory. This is where I go to on this, and it includes some of that. Like it's going to take some bits and pieces of both Gage and Boudreau, but I got a different theory. This is mine here, and on the they're equipped. They're a team that is equipped to make the Eastern Conference Final. I think it's a coaching issue at its core. I think it's a coaching issue at its core. Brind'Amour asks a lot from his players. He asks a lot from his players. You have, as far as I'm aware, like basically no optional morning skates throughout the entirety of the regular season. And the morning skates are high intensity. Like they're more intense than a lot of teams' practices. He's very demanding, which I don't think in and of itself is a bad thing. High expectations. But I think that team operates from the drop of the puck at the start of the season until the end of the regular season. They are at a high intensity pitch the entire time with the way they're expected to play the entire time. And I think when you get to playoffs, what happens is that other teams that aren't at that high level, they have a little bit more from an intensity to give. They have a little bit more to give in the next round. Like they continue to have, like, look at what we would see from Edmonton. Look what we see from Florida in this, where it's like just that intensity. They have the ability to up that intensity, to up that level, to kick it into next gear a little bit. And I just don't think Carolina does. And I think the reason that they don't is it's just you're preached to go all out and give everything you have. And it's every single night over the 82 game season. And I think that just wears on you mentally, wears on you physically. And I think there just is not enough left in the tank when you start getting deeper into the playoffs. You still got it in the first round. You know, adrenaline's high. You're stepping into it. You're ready to go. It's playoffs. And then after that, I think it slowly starts to fade a little bit where you just can't sustain it. Now that's completely speculation on my part, but that's how I see it. That is how I see it. And here's another little extra thought to that. And I would say this is semi-evidence and people might disagree, and that's fine. Their best player in this series was Logan Stankoven, who's a rookie. Now, Logan got traded there at the trade deadline. So their best player was one that wasn't there all season, that didn't have to deal with that demand over and over and over again for the entirety of the year. And all of a sudden, well, guess what? He's got another level that he can get to in the playoffs. But other guys, I just don't think they can, because I look at their defense and I'm like, they have Yoslavin is, he's not quite as offensive as an Evan Bouchard, but he's a fantastic defenseman. Like, they have pieces back there. They have some of the pieces up front, and maybe they are missing that big game breaker, and they wanted to be Rantanen, but couldn't sign him, so they had to make a move. But I look at this and go, I think it's a function of the style and the coaching style of Brind'Amour on the specific players that this team has that just leaves them unable to get across that hump. The second that they run into a team that has that level of intensity, I don't think he sucks it all out of them so much for over the course of the year. I think there's nothing left.
Well, when you have a coach that can finish top 5 in physical testing at the beginning of the year, it's probably not a good thing.
Cass, I love the theory, man. Like, so would you change the coach then? Would you say you've done everything you can here, Rod? It's time for something else with this group.
You haven't something else. You haven't like how often are you going to keep running into the same thing? Are you going to continue to be a really good regular season team and not have the push to get over? Like, and what else are you going to change?
Not many
How many
coaches
guys are you going
get
to change?
3 runs to the conference finals and then get to run it back again after losing 3 times in 4 years in the conference final.
Well, and losing in spectacular fashion.
Yeah.
Let's say it. Like, it's not like you're losing in overtime in game 7 and it was to the wire. Like, you're getting rolled pretty good here. So I mean, if it was my team, coach is gone.
I think he gets let go.
You think so?
Yeah. There was that rumor.
I think they were. What was the rumor at the beginning of the year?
I thought they were holding off signing him and things.
Really?
I thought there was some.
I feel like he probably. I don't. I think it would be time for a fresh look, but I don't know if they do it. We'll keep tabs.
I don't think they
obviously.
will.
Yeah.
I don't think they will. I don't think they will, but I think they should. And again, this is a theory. I don't have a ton of hard evidence to back it up. Speculation, but
not a reasonable theory, though. I think it's a reasonable theory.
Yep.
If you're looking at why can't they do it? Why can't they do it? I do want to just mention, as we talk about the Hurricanes, and we'll flip over to the Panthers. Mark over on YouTube says, could the Hurricanes use a slightly used but well-maintained Victor Arvidsson? Who might be... We'll see.
He looks like a Hurricane, right?
It's got a little bit of Hurricane. Like, yeah, I could see it. I think that could... I think that could possibly work. Something to look at, maybe moving into the off season. Okay, what about Paul Maurice last night? Lots of talk about Maurice going to Brind'Amour and saying, "Let's just leave the handshake line to the players." Brind'Amour agreed to it. I mean, if Brind'Amour wanted to go shake their hands, I hope he just didn't say no because Paul Maurice didn't want to shake hands. But I don't know, the Gager. We talked about this briefly this morning, and Cass will come to you on this one as well. I'll just quickly say what I think about it. It's if Paul Maurice doesn't want to shake the other players' hands, that's fine. I mean, don't shake the hands. I don't necessarily like him convincing Rod Brind'Amour if Brind'Amour wanted to go do it. And it's the way he comes across. I don't know. It's starting to wear on me a little bit. I'm starting to get a little bit tired of the Paul Maurice shtick.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think that's a fair take. Gager, where do you come out on this?
So I said I do think it should just be the players. I like that. But
that's what Bruce said today too.
Yeah, I did do because Reed asked me yesterday, "Hey, did you see the handshake thing?" And I said no. And I looked on YouTube for I put in like Brind'Amour and Maurice versus Reed.
Yeah,
Maurice. And so there was Christine Simpson did a thing back when, and it was I guess Paul Maurice, when he coached in Carolina, it was like Brind'Amour's last year.
Okay.
And it was a good little, you should watch it. It goes back and forth, but essentially it's Maurice saying, I was like, Brind'Amour was his last year playing. We were going in a different direction. He was, and then it cuts to Brind'Amour and goes, I still wanted to play. They took away my C.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were, my ice time kept dropping dramatically. And so I was like, holy smokes, like they really built this up. And so there was a lot of animosity between them in that final year of Brind'Amour being in Carolina.
Okay.
Because Maurice basically, Brind'Amour said it felt like they were pushing me out, and they were. That's what they were doing. And then he says, as a player, and then Brind'Amour starts talking as a coach, going, I would never do that as a player. And then they went back to Maurice, and Maurice says it right there. He goes, look, I never played a minute. I've only coached. So obviously my view is going to be different than a guy that played and sees it from a player's point of view. I just see it from a coach's view, but I think what you got there at the end was a coach that still looks at Brind'Amour as the guy as his player and trying to exert he might as well lifted his leg and peed on him at that point, right? Like it was just ridiculous.
I got a different take again.
Okay.
I got a different take again here. So you guys like football, right? You watch the Super Bowl, right? When they award the trophy, who do they give the trophy to?
Well, yeah. I mean, it always goes to ownership.
It goes to the ownership.
Yeah.
Right? Now, as a hockey player, and even for you guys, not that you're a hockey player too, Gager. Sorry. But like as an athlete, as a player, when I watch that, there's a little sour taste every time in my mouth. That they give it to the owner first. And I understand it's the owner's team. Like, great, sure. But the one of the things I love about the NHL is it goes to the players first. The guys that bled for it, that sacrificed for it, that went through it to get there and to get that. And so I just don't have a problem with the coach saying, especially for the other team, like, do you think that Carolina wants to go through and shake everybody's hand? They're shaking the other team they just played against. Do they want to go shake the entire coaching staff's hand too? Like another 15, 20 people? Like, do I want to do that if I lose a series and go
contract
through?
year, maybe.
maybe if I'm a contract year. But outside of that, I'm kind of like, no, like you're upset, you're frustrated, you're sad, you're disappointed, you're disheartened, and all you want to do is get the heck out of there and probably go tie one on with the boys, right? Because you're like, we're done. We just need to feel this and go have our year-end thing and just get the heck out of here, right? Like I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be on the ice. This sucks. Get me out of here. I'm done. And so like I don't know. I just don't have a problem with it. And Brind'Amour wasn't the first one. Maurice did it in the Toronto series too.
Yeah, with Berube. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so
but I think we all agree. I mean, I don't care if a coach shakes players' hands. I mean, it doesn't matter. What if Rod Brind'Amour was a player? What if he wanted to go shake these other guys' hands?
That's what I mean.
That's what you're kind of saying. Like, to me, Paul Maurice shouldn't be dictating if Rod Brind'Amour is going to go over and shake his players' hands. And that's kind of what I saw last night.
But Brind'Amour can go do it. Like, he's a grown man.
Yeah, but Paul Maurice goes on the media after and goes, I was telling Rod, let's leave that to the players. Like,
right. So he says that. And what are Rod's responses in that instance? Right. He could say, oh, yeah, okay, and agree with it and think that it's a good idea and to go along with it. Or he can say, no, I'm going to do it. I want to do it. He's a grown man. He can make that decision.
That's what you were saying, Gage. You're thinking like Maurice still sort of like tried to big time him because he was his coach.
No, I don't think Maurice is trying to big time him. Like, he's not big time him.
He was trying to big time him.
Berube. No, he's not trying to big time. Like, he went to him and probably said, hey, this is what I'm thinking of doing. We did it the Toronto series. I'm probably going to do it again. Like, that's probably what he said. Like, you think he's trying to like exert that? Like, I don't see that. I don't see that. I think
he talks like that though.
It's the equivalent of me coming over to your place, Cass, and telling you not to dip the burgers in butter before we smash them.
Right. And you know what? Because I'm a grown man, I can say, I'm going to do what I want.
I'm going to smash them and I'm going to dip them in butter.
The only thing
I'm going to dip them in butter twice. Yeah. Two times the butter, double the butter. Right? Like, he's a grown man. He's Rob Brind'Amour could, like, you put a fight between Brind'Amour and Maurice out there.
Brind'Amour could have said, no, I'm going to go shake their hands.
Yeah.
I'm going to go shake their hands. I want to do it. No, he made that choice. Berube made that choice. Maurice didn't make it for him. He put it in front of him and is like, probably do what you will with that. This is what I'm going to do. And he decided. I don't know. I think
I hope Knobloch goes like this. And then goes and gets in line.
That's something else. You know what I hope happens is I hope the butcher of Victory Park, which is I believe where the Dallas Stars play, the area, the butcher of Victory Park, like pump fakes DeBoer.
Yeah,
Slash, just like pump fakes him in line.
Gives him a couple of
just a little pump fake.
Cass, do they finish him tonight?
Gentleman's sweep, baby. I think they got them all.
Oh my God, it's happening.
Yep.
That's exciting.
I told you about the poll we had, right?
No.
On our show the other day?
No.
It was a choice between go back to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah.
Hear Hernan sing La Bamba or another gentleman's sweep show.
Oh, like what you would enjoy the most out of the three things?
Of course, the Stanley Cup Finals got 50%, but I think you got 29.
Really?
For the gentleman's sweep.
And Gentleman's Sweep is our most liked and viewed show ever, so it doesn't surprise me. It does frustrate me a bit that we have to dress up like gentlemen for people to like us more. But whatever. Right?
Whatever.
So Gage, what do you think? He's actually
it's done.
You think it's done?
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more nervous about this one than I was for the first 4 games of the series. But
it's an elimination game.
And they eliminate teams, but they do. They put the foot down on the pedal in these situations. So, we'll. Oh boy, can you imagine a Friday morning gentleman's sweep show? God,
wow,
could be one for the old Guinness book. Be a lot of fun. What's coming up on EST afternoons here? Does anybody know? Zach,
do we know what's coming up?
Does anybody know?
Yes, I do. YouTube Trev will be joining us at 1:40 to discuss Game 5. It will not be a gentleman's sweep.
Make sure you remind him to go get his gentleman's sweep stuff.
Okay. Well, I'll do that.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Are you saying it's not? Are you a Reed guy on the?
Well, you have
gentleman's
to win
sweeps?
3, lose Game 4. Anyways, I'm not going to get into it. Of course, Red Light District, everybody's favorite at 2:20. Elks ticket giveaway.
Oh, very nice. Well. Very nice.
Yeah, and inside the numbers for Play Alberta and lots of Oilers discussion. Of course, Mattias Ekholm and Jeff Skinner are back, baby.
They probably got thumbnail material, didn't they? This afternoon, the 2 afternoon shows, that's got thumbnail written all over it. And good work. What was the final score of your game with Hernan?
I don't even remember, man.
Is Hernan outside on a parade by himself, sticking out his sunroof?
I don't know.
Hernan's probably still standing on the couch. Oh my God, they're great.
I must have to borrow one of his darts after that game.
All right, that's funny. I'll give you that. All right, that's going to do it for Two Guys A Goalie, brought to you by GS Construction. If you want a new career, you want to try something new, you want to try something maybe better, probably better, GS Construction. It's not just a job. It is a career. They are hiring now. Go to gsconstruction.ca and click ready to work. And the rest is right there laid out for you. EST Afternoons with Hernan Gager. Coming up next, Reed Wilkins show from 3 until 5 today. And then the GCL Diesel pregame show with Tom Gazzola live from Hudson's on White from 5 until puck drop tonight. Cass, good stuff, buddy. Enjoy the game.
See you guys.